Howdy, folks. I'm the smiling sugar plum fairy, sweetly sharing sugary snacks.
I'm Amber.
And here's more sugary snacks for us to delight on. Let's get started. Alright, folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Showing Up to My Boyfriend's House to a Family Dinner in Lingerie? My boyfriend is 35 and I'm 29, and we've been dating for 6 months. On Friday night, we'd made plans to have a night in, and I was going to go over. We planned on making dinner together, watching some movies, and I was going to spend the night. On Thursday, I had some holiday shopping to do. While shopping after work, I saw some cute lingerie. I thought that I would surprise my boyfriend with it on Friday night, so I bought it. Friday after work, I took a shower, I did my hair, makeup, and got dressed. It was pretty cold where we live, so I put on some knee-high boots and some lingerie and a knee-length coat only, and headed to my boyfriend's apartment. He gave me a key recently, so I used it to get in since he knew that I was coming over and we had plans together. To my surprise, when I got there, he was not alone. His mom was in from out of state. This was my first time meeting her. My boyfriend and his mom kept telling me to take off my jacket, but I couldn't because all I was wearing was lingerie. After I couldn't say no any longer, the only thing I could come up with was asking my boyfriend if he could give me some sweats that I keep at his apartment because I was so cold. Well, when we got into his room, he asked me why I was being so weird about my jacket and why I wouldn't take it off. When I told him, he burst out laughing. I did as well, to be fair. He told me that he was sorry about his mom, but she came in out of state on a surprise visit. After recovering from the laughter, my boyfriend, well, being a guy, said, "Can I at least see it before you change?" I let him because that was the whole point. He walked over to kiss me, and while we were kissing, his mom opened the door and lost it. She started calling me terrible names and screaming about how I was seducing her son in front of her. My boyfriend was angry and started yelling at her as well about being unfair and not knocking on the door before opening it. Needless to say, meeting her went terribly. My boyfriend kicked his mom out and I feel so bad about the whole thing. So am I the jerk? The only reason that I sort of feel like the jerk here is because of the issue and the rift between my boyfriend and his mom now. I don't really know what else I personally could have done differently. Alright folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. I mean, first of all, this was sprung on you last minute. You thought you were going to a nice dinner with your boyfriend, not a family dinner.
Yeah.
And then, OP tries to, do the subtle, hey, I need some sweats thing. And his mom has the audacity to barge into his bedroom where someone is supposed to be changing.
Yeah, well, and I think that's the biggest part here is that OP was not trying to offend the mother, and had they been able to recover the sweats appropriately, then I think things would have gone a little bit differently. And it's really odd that the mother is this snoopy.
Mm-hmm.
She shouldn't have barged in on them like that.
Yeah, who goes into someone's bedroom where their partner's supposed to be changing?
Mm-hmm.
That's not cool.
No, and it just sounds like she was getting impatient, or she was getting curious because she heard the laughing and stuff like that. So she might have been like, well, what is going on here? And so her curiosity got the best of her. And so, I don't know. I think that this is, again, one of those situations where no one expected her to walk into the room, and they were just having a little bit of flirty, fun time. They weren't trying to do anything with the mother there, it sounds like.
Right, and they're grown adults, and this is his house. She acts like she rules the roost type of thing, and it's he's an adult. He can do as he wishes. You surprised him without telling him. You have to expect that there could be some hiccups.
Yeah, and that's just it. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Lauren Jaw says, wait, why didn't you bring spare clothes? What were you planning on wearing home the next day? If it's that cold, why wouldn't you put something on over the top of the lingerie for travel? This doesn't add up. And OP replies, I didn't bring clothes because I have clothes at my boyfriend's apartment. I mean, that's what OP said, right?
Yeah.
Literally, she has clothes over there. And Chain Gun Samurai says, this started out like an episode of Friends. And OP replies, I wish it would have been that lighthearted. His mom is big mad. And Silly Numbers 54 says, I'm still confused about how having adult intimate time with your boyfriend makes you promiscuous. And Zombie Dinocorn says, alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for not wanting my mother-in-law to be paid to look after my children? 2 months ago, I went back to work full time. My mother-in-law, who already provided a lot of childcare for my husband and I, because we have 2 young children, a 4-year-old male and a 1-year-old female, and she was the main weekday caregiver. She watches them from around 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. She also picks up our oldest 2 children, 7-year-old male and a 6-year-old male, from school, and my 2 stepsons, 16-year-old male and a 14-year-old male, and spend a lot of time at her house. She has a similar arrangement with her daughter and her 2 children, a 7-year-old male and a 3-year-old female. Previously, my kids already spent a lot of time at her house, and my husband would often slip her some money to cover things like food. The kids have always really liked it at their grandmother's house. She still has her 2 youngest children living at home, a 16-year-old female and a 13-year-old male, as well as her niece and her niece's son, a 5-year-old male. I recently found out that my husband has talked to his mom without telling me about paying her to watch our children. The amount that he wants to pay her would be around $80 a day, and it would be out of his bank account. I'm against this for several reasons. Firstly, he didn't even discuss it with me before talking to her about it. Secondly, I think that it's turning a family obligation to help one another out into a financial one. Thirdly, it will continue to incentivize her to not get an actual job. She's been unemployed for 4 years now. Fourthly, one of her brothers is already bankrolling her and bought the house that she lives in. I'm not even sure she pays any of her household bills. I don't want my husband and I to be the next chumps paying her bills. Lastly, she hasn't even shown any interest in us paying her. It was my husband who brought it up. I worry that he's going to cause problems where there doesn't need to be any problems. When I brought up not wanting us to pay her, my husband and I got into an argument, and he thinks that I'm being a jerk about it. His argument is that she's essentially providing a service of a nanny and therefore deserves to get paid for it. And as we can afford to pay her, we should. He also thinks that she's likely to use the money to buy more toys and crafty type things for the kids. I think that if you start to pay a family member for childcare, where do you draw the line? I used to watch mother-in-law's youngest kids all the time when I was on maternity leave and she was working. Arguably, I should send her an invoice. And like I said, her brother already helps her out financially, so she doesn't exactly need the money. Am I the jerk here, or am I making some fair points? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, OP, you're a major jerk here. Now, I understand that there are different family arrangements, different ideas of what constitutes an obligation, but no one is obligated to watch anyone else's kids, regardless of the bond. If you want to do that out of the goodness of your heart, that's fine. Mother-in-law here is practically running a daycare, it sounds like.
yeah.
She's watching your 6 kids. She has 2 kids of her own at home. She has 2 other grandkids she's watching and like a great nephew. Like, that's a lot of kids to be watching for very little pay. Like $80 a day for that. Like if you were to put all your kids in daycare, can you imagine how expensive that would be?
Well, and that's just it. Is I think that OP is not really looking at this in the best way. I think that the husband wants to do something nice, and I think he should have talked to his wife about it first.
Absolutely.
I don't think that he should have been trying to make these unilateral decisions, but he also may not have realized how much his wife would have objected to this.
Yeah, or he might know that she doesn't like it when he gives her money and was trying to, go around that, which if that's the case, they really just need to go into couples counseling and work that out. Because that's not a good state to be in a relationship.
But if this was also coming from like his fun money, because he says it's coming from, the OP says it's coming from his own personal account, it sounds like, then this might not even be a debatable type of thing, because like you can spend your fun money in households on what you want, right?
Yeah, it may or may not be impacting OP's finances. We're not clear on their financial situation.
Well, they say that they have plenty of money.
Right. So, yeah, it doesn't sound like it's hurting them any to pay her the $80 a day, and she's providing a valuable service.
Yeah. I understand OP's hesitation, but the thing is that she probably is doing more good helping everyone out and trying to provide child care and child support than the amount of money that she would earn from whatever job that she got.
Well, and that too, like she is doing a tremendous favor, but like I hope he acts like she's doing nothing, and it's like she's watching like 11 kids.
Yeah.
Like that is not doing nothing.
Yeah, and again, like if you were to take all 11 kids and have to put them into childcare in one way or another, then that's going to end up being a pretty good sized bill. And that's just, you can see from that already that she's providing a pretty good service. So I wouldn't really think that this is something to be too worried about. And the husband might feel guilty that the brother is the only one providing her with support.
Mm-hmm.
Like if the brother supplied her with a house and pays the bills, he might feel like he should contribute as well.
Yeah, well, and he also might feel like his mom is providing a valuable service
Oh
and
yeah.
saving them a ton of money, and so it only makes sense to pay her.
Yeah, and that too, that too. I just meant there might also be like the feeling of like I shouldn't be the only one not getting anything, giving it back to the mother when she is doing all this stuff. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And third try is the charm says, I think it's turning a family obligation to help one another out into a financial one. Your family is not obligated to help you raise your children. Your family in particular is not obligated to this level of help. Your mother-in-law is watching your kids for 10 hours a day, 50 hours a week, plus transportation for the older kids. She is not simply babysitting your kids. She is functioning like a full-time nanny. You're the jerk. And Asin Tess says, she's a full-time mother. $80 a day is charity. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
And had to sign up to faux this says, you're the jerk. The woman takes care of, if I have the math right, 6 of your children. 6. And you don't want to pay her, but expect her to get a job? Go away. $80 and you're getting off cheap. What were you going to do if she got a job? Because then you're going to find out what that level of childcare really costs.
Opie, really, are you trying to pay more money? Like,
Yeah. Seems like you're going to be paying a lot more money if she has to go get a job.
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks, and our last letter is titled, My Husband Washes My Hair. Even though I'm young, I have severe arthritis throughout my body. I was diagnosed when I was 6. Sometimes I'll have a flare-up and I won't be able to wash my own hair because I physically can't lift my arms above my head. Early in our marriage, I was complaining to him about my greasy hair, and when he found out why I couldn't just wash it, he asked if he could help. I said yes, if he didn't mind, and he washed my hair. Throughout the whole process, he was careful not to get soap or water in my eyes or nose, and even massaged my scalp for a little while because it felt nice. He even took the time to help me blow dry it. Ever since then, when I'm in a flare-up, I don't even need to ask for help. He'll just ask me when I need to wash my hair, and then he'll do it. He's always so gentle and thorough, and he never makes me feel ashamed or embarrassed about needing help. I don't know, I just really love him and wanted to tell someone. Edit to add, everyone's comments are so sweet. I doubt that I'll be able to reply to all of them, but I've read them all. Thank you for appreciating my husband with me. I let him read the post, and then he read some of the comments. He's so surprised and honestly a bit baffled by all your kind words. He says, I'm only doing what any man should do for the woman that he loves. So I'm so blessed to be his. All right, folks, what do you think of this happy story to end on?
It's so wholesome. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much to say beyond that. I just wanted to share a nice, wholesome story today. So hopefully you did enjoy that. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. And Amber, she has a joke.
Did you hear the joke about the abominable snowman?
I did. I heard the only joke that's ever existed in Jovial Bob Stein's repertoire of jokes. He ate Ohio or Cincinnati. Did you hear about him? He turned the vampires into popsicles or into spooksicles. The ghosts, he turned them into spooksicles.
Never mind. It would probably leave you cold.
And, you know, the thing is, this is identical to the joke yesterday. I mean, he just like took words and rearranged them.
Well, it's a section we were in. We were in a section called Never Mind.
Oh, never mind. I see. And I have licorice spice.
I'm just going through the dredges to try and find jokes we haven't read yet, so...
All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Tuesday, spelled T-W-O. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it in the form of a haiku.
A good partner is a real treasure. Be sure not to take that for granted.
I like it. I like it. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
I kind of like thought you were done when you were like, a partner is a real treasure. I forgot that I told you to make a haiku.
Mm-hmm.